Hey, what's up guys? Triple C here. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Justin.
And this is our first video in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know we had some videos go up on Instagram recently. I know Degrees in Businessing, which is kind of coming up. You know, were we just posting that just because?
So as of right now, one Degrees in Businessing compilation is put together of 3 or 4 episodes. I have one more coming out, and then that's it with Degrees in Businessing. So today we're going to discuss
the future of Triple C.
Yep.
3 names, 1 word. 3 people, 1 goal. This is what success was built on. Family, revolutionary ideas, 1 goal. 3 million ideas, 1 triple C. CillerCrocCustoms, we run it differently. Not from Miami, but you know we bring the heat. Nova Vieira in the skies, no more cruising in the streets. Hold our heads up high for the change we bout to bring. Sting like a bee, no bite like a cobra. Bound to bring the green light, Yoda. Oh yeah, from the backyard to the showroom.
Halfway,
to the top floor,
kind of
let me show
halfway
you what
out
we gon' do.
to like a bed about here, which allows for more room to have a nicer kind of curve.
Youth on the side, but we never liked waiting. Leave our shoes on the pavement and our souls hit the skies. Open your eyes, let us show you the other side, where dreamers can believe and their hopes come alive, where each try their best and we learn how to thrive. Join us on our mission to change how we ride. To change how we ride.
I'm Joseph. I'm Justin.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Triple C.
So, really what happened was me and Justin have been talking for a little while about what the heck is going on. We made our decision before to disappear from social media because of the fact that there were a lot of negatives that really affected us and the company itself. So where does that leave us? Well, we had a couple of questions that we needed to answer, and we had that in a meeting today. So let me go and continue off, not really continue off, but continue on with what our idea is. So to start off, we have the first question. We have it's about 5 questions, but frankly, we combined the first 2. But anyway, so here's what's gonna happen. 5 questions. I'm gonna do the first 3. Justin's gonna do 4, and me and him are gonna do 5. So the first thing was really mainly social media and stalling to the future, quote unquote. So as we said, we are pretty much done with social media. But Justin really not really brought up a good point, but brought up the fact that, you know what, while we're kind of doing it, we had some shows that we really killed off. And on top of that, why not do some updates? So we wanted to do updates, right? So we wanted to continue on with doing updates. Our update videos are going to be occasional. There's no real time set. What Justin was thinking was maybe once a month, once every 2 months, something like that, just to kind of keep you guys in the loop, just so that we get something out there so we can tell you guys our progress, because we would like to tell you guys progress. That was nothing that really changed. So that's going to be the Triple C show. And then a long-awaited return of the J&J show. We're going to bring back the J&J show for fun. We're going to do this for our enjoyment, and on top of that, it brings up the car news for everyone. That was one thing that we really made a mistake on, killing off, quote unquote, the J&J show. I know you brought that up, right, Justin? It was a big mistake because it was definitely geared toward what we were looking for in the company and what to tell everyone. So we're going to bring the J&J show back because we enjoy it. And it's something fun to do. You know, when we hang out and there's cool things that we want to talk about, we will post a video on it. You know, we don't have any time set things, so we'll kind of go with that. So now, what does that really mean for the future? Well, the future really is just going to be that. You know, we're going to do occasional updates. We're going to get kind of back on track with what we're going to do behind the scenes to get to where we are. And in the scenes, of course, in the front scenes, we're going to be doing the occasional updates and the J&J show. We want to continue on with everything that goes on, of course, as I said. We were originally thinking till about December till I come back from college, but we will see how everything kind of rolls. We're not here to set up a timestamp or whatever, because that was what we failed at before. Was that big failure point was the we had to do this and we had to do that. So go ahead, Justin. Number 4.
Future release dates.
Now, what do you mean by future release dates?
So basically, this has to do a lot with the first prototype. The official year itself is up in the air until after we finish college. Me and Joe gave maybe a rough 4 or 5 year span. So maybe 2025 to 2030. We're thinking around that time.
Is when it's going to start. We gave ourselves about 2 years to finish college, finish our degrees. 2-ish years is what we're thinking, because that's about 4 semesters, whatever that is. And then, again, to push it a little later on, because once we get out of college, me and Justin Justin's going to be probably a lot more ahead of me because he's doing a little bit of a smaller degree. I'm doing my bachelor's and he's doing his associates. So he's going to probably be a little bit more well off with jobs and stuff. I wanted to give myself at least a buffer a year or 2 to make sure I have everything, all my ducks in a row kind of thing, see how everything kind of gets to fall together, so that we can make that final commitment to make sure that we are, on the right track. So, as Justin said, 25 to 2030 is going to be that rough time span, but as we said, we wanted to get it done at least before we were 30.
Yep.
So, which brings us to our last question, which was...
First prototype.
Which one is going to be our first prototype that we're going to be releasing to investors, the public, the whole 9 yards?
Now, a lot of people might know this has been the Libra for a long time.
Actually, it started off as the Nova V.
It did. Mm-hmm. Then it went to the Libra, as we did a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hit our downfall. And me on my own, I started toying around with the Edie, which is our flying car. It's not the Nova V. And then we talked about it today, and we both came to the conclusion that smartly, it makes sense to do the Libra. And I'm not saying that because the Libra's mine, because it's not mine. It's ours.
Exactly. So, just like Justin said, we are going to be high priority on the Libra. And why did we do that? That brings up a good reasoning. So just to quickly add up our four prototypes that we were thinking about doing: the Nova V, the Libra, the Edie, and the Del Troia. The Del Troia was, we had to X out right away as much as it was part of the big 3. It is just so underdeveloped that we don't have time to really catch it up. The Edie also has quite of the same problem. The Edie, as much as it's a flying car, it's innovative, and it is with the times, with, of course, the flying car era. It just has a lot of, it's really behind on progress. The Edie, as much as Justin Reed's been putting a lot of focus on it, really has kind of, it doesn't have as much R&D as the Nova V and the Libra have. Libra's the head of it all. With the Edie, we still have some problems with research and development with the reverse thrusting, the how complex it is, and really, if we were to make it, Justin, I know you said when we make it, it's not going to be an accurate prototype because there is just not enough
funds available. And I mean this by a very large margin. We're talking hundreds of thousands, which we don't have. And it would not make sense to do that.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to our second option, which is, of course, the Nova V, our flagship vehicle. Of course, the Nova V is a flying car as well. It's innovative. It's with the times, like I have with the Edie. The difference between the Nova V and the first things first is the Edie is that the Nova V is a non-backlash style, meaning the new flying cars that came out, there has definitely been some public backlash on it not really being a car, and it's just more of a plane because it's got the wings. The Nova V, of course, as you guys know, is nowhere near a plane. It is definitely more of a flying car, so that's where I kind of get with the style. The negatives about it is there is a lot of work to do. I am definitely ahead on R&D with it, research and development, but there is still a lot more to do. It's a lot more research and development. There's a lot more testing. There's a lot more custom stuff that I need to build. Of course, I'm building it from the ground up like every other thing else. And on top of that, as of right now, it is also gas powered. So it's not a super wise choice right now. But that really brings us to the number one, which is the Libra. The Libra, of course, being an air hybrid, it's innovative, and yes, it is with the times as well. With the new Hyundai Vision N74, it is a hydrogen cell? Mm-hmm. Hydrogen cell electric hybrid, which when I first saw that, I completely flipped out because I instantly thought of the Libra being the compressed air and the electric, which really just was so exciting, and I love the community and how everyone kind of fell in love with it. And even for me, as a not electric hybrid guy, I fell in love with it. And I think that's what made it special, was the fact that it's just, it looks cool, like the Libra looks cool, and it's a new propulsion system, and it's just, it's great. Now, of course, I gotta bring in the negatives, like everything else. There's gonna be some more R&D, some more testing, more custom stuff. Of course, again, it's building from the ground up, and on top of that is a new propulsion system that we are building completely. So we are definitely way ahead on the Libra. Not only did we build a Libra air cart, we also replicated the system onto the Tiger, which was the resto-modded Tiger, which runs, again, on air, compressed air and electric, which is absolutely insane. So we were able to replicate the system twice, which makes the Libra system and the Libra itself a lot more favorable to what we want. So that is why we are going to choose the Libra as our main priority. Now, what does that mean? Justin is going to be putting his full attention onto the Libra, and I will be tagging along with him. But me personally, with all of the R&D that the Nova V has, I will also be putting my focus on the Nova V as a second priority. The Libra is our main priority, but the second one was sub-priority. That was the word I was looking for. The sub-priority is the Nova V. Of course, I can't get enough of the Nova V, and also on top of that, with it being our flagship vehicle, why completely forget about it? But this is going to be kind of going on behind the scenes. As we said, we will not be really posting much. It does sound like a lot. It does sound like bad. You guys are having an opportunity to really post this stuff. But frankly, we don't want to pressure ourselves to do this, because if we pressure ourselves to do it, things really could, kind of crumble and fall apart like it did just recently. And getting out of this recession that we have been in made us realize that we really got to really focus on what we need. So that's going to be going on behind the scenes. So, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up regarding the Libra being the sole proprietor?
I'd rather do that in its own video. Explain it, the R&D stuff and everything like that.
On the Libra, so our ideas?
Yep.
Okay.
There's going to be a specific video for that. Rather than kind of jam-pack it into this video, it makes sense to have its own video, and plus, it puts more content out there for you guys.
Big word that we have here: quality content, quality over quantity.
So that's the new goal of this.
Questions, comments, concerns, write in the comment section down below. And with that, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Justin.
And we will triple see you later. Peace, guys.